I say, I know you can't really see us now.
Beautiful. I'm gonna have to take a picture.
But we're not. It's not a video.
Right.
It's
No.
audio.
Yeah, I mean, just like for our own interaction, it's a little easier to see faces and stuff. But the audio is
It's
important.
easier
So
to see facial expressions and react.
Oh,
But that's fine. We will survive.
can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Oh, then this is weird. Hey.
Honestly, I mean, that's how it was last week when your camera was off and mine was on.
That's true. Sometimes things just happen. Speaking of which, this ended up being more work than I thought it was going to be, or that I probably made it more than it needed to be. But I wanted to try, like, especially whenever we do like something with a guest, I want to try and make it as like cool and authentic as possible. So I even went through the steps of like making my own little mushu pancakes. And
did that go well or did that not go well?
Actually, the mushu pancakes were probably the best part of it. The first one that I tried to fry up didn't go super well. The second one went better. I don't quite understand. The way the instructions describe it is you're supposed to smash them together and then you fry them up and then you split them apart. I don't quite understand why, but I'm assuming to make them more like moist and bendable or whatever.
Yeah, we have the Indy 500 on in the background for us to set the mood.
Nice.
Do you need me to silence it for you?
I just.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, should we get started?
Let us begin.
He's already started. Look,
Matt's already started. He's out of the curve.
I'm a little off kilter here. I'm still reeling from the smoke and everything that I created while attempting to cook, and it. But yeah,
You smoked out your kitchen? I have to hold this coaster down because it's gonna just like fly off every time I pick up my drink.
So how is your pineapple martini there?
Oh, on the plus side, the pineapple martini went super well. It is absolutely delicious, and on a hot Memorial Day weekend, it is very refreshing.
Good.
Yeah, it's good for hot weather.
Definitely. How hot is it down there?
Not very hot.
Oh.
Well, if you go out in the sun, it's hot, but it's about what? I'd say
63.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. It's already almost 80 here.
Oh.
Damn.
Ew.
Well, yeah, and it's especially weird because like the evenings are still very much in spring territory. So like yesterday I woke up and it was about 40, and then it got to be like 81 or 82 by the end of the day. And it's like, how the hell do we have a 40-degree shift?
Oh, that's normal.
I was gonna say that's normal here.
Oh, well, ew. Like, because it's so refreshing in the morning, and then the evening is just so, well, the afternoon, I mean, is just so oppressive. I don't like it.
Right.
I don't like the heat.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
I don't like that about Denver. It's hot. I miss being up in the mountains where it's 10 to 15 degrees cooler than Denver, like all the time.
Yeah. It's one thing I kind of miss about being in Fargo is it would often be drier, but there's so much wind that it just kind of blows the heat away. So even on like 95-degree days, it's always a little more cool because even if you're overheating and sweating a lot, the breeze just keeps you nice and regulated.
Right.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, but out here where I live in old Chippewa Falls, there's a lot of moisture kicking up already, and it's just becoming sort of stagnant right now and just humid and hot. Not a fan.
Yeah, I don't like humid and hot. Humid and hot is worse than dry and hot.
Yeah.
Well, because it's just, you get like hot and sweaty and sticky all at the same time. And it's just, oh, Gabriel's grabbing up our mushu pork right now.
I can't. You
We
bastard.
put him in charge of cooking.
I was gonna say, I keep forgetting that you have this like a professional chef. I keep looking at my phone. I'm dropping shit. I
do.
use 3
I have a
pans.
professional chef at home.
Oh my god.
I'm making him day off is like what I'm really doing.
That's how you know it's a passion.
You did yesterday. I know. Making him work. Put in the effort to make us something delicious.
Would I be correct in assuming he did the same recipe?
Yes,
Okay.
I sent him the recipe that my dad sent me that I sent to you.
I read it and I was like, what?
I read it and chose to do something else.
Oh,
He followed it more like guidelines.
Mm.
And instead of using pancakes,
Yep.
Matt, we're using lettuce wraps.
It's our gluten-free alternative.
That sounds like it would have been so much faster and easier.
Right?
Making the pancakes.
Well,
Oh.
Celine told me, she goes, the pancakes have gluten in them.
Mm.
And
Can I have
since
a
you're
fork?
gluten intolerant, maybe we do the lettuce wraps instead. I'm like, fine. But apparently she didn't pass that on to you.
Well, and that's fine. I mean,
Well, because I figured we'll have options for
Mhm.
listeners. Options for them.
no, that's a good.
Right.
Well, and the recipe that you sent also says like that. Even though it's called mushu pork, like the name essentially comes from the little pancakes. You don't need to use the pancakes. They're like you can eat just the stir fry itself. You can put it over rice. But I figured I'd give it a try, and it went okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I said. I still don't think I entirely understand why you're supposed to mash them together to make like one disc thing, and then you later separate them. But I'm imagining it so that like the inner side of them is more moist and easier to like fold and hold and that kind of thing.
yeah,
Right.
like for if you want to fill it with scallions or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks everybody for sitting down with us, and welcome to this fresh disaster that, at least this episode for me, called Peculiar Pairings. Hello, my name is Matt.
I'm Celine, and our special guest today is my dad.
Kenny,
Welcome.
Hello,
thank
Kenny.
you.
Welcome to our show. So you picked our topic today. So what are we talking about for our listeners?
We're talking about mushu pork, pineapple martinis, and minorities in NASCAR.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I thought it was just NASCAR sort
I'm
of in general,
Excited.
but I'm interested to see where everything goes.
Yes. Yeah, because NASCAR has a bunch of different levels. It starts at the ARCA, which is the lower level,
Oh,
and then you go to the Xfinity series, and then you go to the Cup series. And there's a bunch in between. There's dirt track racing and go-karts. It's been around for a long time.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize
You know,
all of that
it
was
origin-
NASCAR.
A lot of it's affiliated with NASCAR, yes.
Oh, okay.
I would
NASCAR
not have guessed.
sanctioned events. And it all started really. The first race was like around 1947, but NASCAR was kind of invented before that because it was all done from bootleggers.
Mm.
So they could haul their hooch out of where they're making it to sell it without the prohibitionists coming in and taking over.
That seems
I'm
and
stopping
taking
up.
stuff.
Yeah, that seems like such a wonderfully
There's
like
no fun.
perfect American origin story. It's like we built this entire industry of
Right.
racing on trying to get illegal booze somewhere.
Right. So, it started before the first race, Daytona, and Daytona is now an oval track, and it used to be just a straight track.
Oh.
They'd run up and down the beach and who had the fastest car. It was almost like a drag race. And then it just grew from there. And everybody's like, well, there's not a lot of minorities in NASCAR. When in actuality, if you go back, if you can find it, there are, because some of the best bootleggers were African Americans.
Oh, okay.
And they do the bootleg, making the hood, and they get these other guys to drive it. So, it's pretty interesting. There has not been a bunch of African American drivers. There's been a few, but three of them are, from the South, white guys,
Right.
and
Mhm.
and driving, in NASCAR. Because NASCAR is very expensive to run. I mean,
Oh, I
nowadays, to own one car is going to cost you about $15 million a year.
Oh my God.
For one car, is that just keeping up the maintenance of everything, or like does that also include like when your car gets totaled?
Well, no, maybe. Well, it could.
It could. Okay.
But the biggest part is those cars are over $1 million a piece. So if you crash them into the wall and they go to pieces, you just threw $1 million out the window. Are over, and as long as the driver doesn't get hurt, you're okay.
Yeah.
You happen to know how
Who
much?
would you say?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, who would you say has been the biggest person in NASCAR racing?
Oh, the biggest?
Yeah, just from like beginning, from when it started to now.
Oh, there's a list. Richard Petty was probably one of the biggest.
Mhm.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Not Junior.
Junior was.
I was gonna say Junior's pretty good.
Junior was pretty good.
Did he retire?
Yes.
Ah,
And Jimmy Wallace. Or not, Jimmy Johnson, excuse me. And then, there's a bunch of them that are, pretty solid in that. And the ones that, the youngsters that are coming up now are like crazy, like Chase Elliott. Like they're off the hook. Good. One of the ones that went from, IndyCar to NASCAR, Danica Patrick,
Oh yeah.
female. Yep. And she retired a couple of years ago. And
Yeah.
But she was a great IndyCar racer. She never really won, but she had a lot of top 10 finishes. And then in NASCAR, she did okay. And you just got to kind of see and dive down into it. There's a gal now that Brianna Daniels, that is the first Black female pit crew or
oh.
pit member.
How many pit members are female in general? Because I think it's next to none.
Not very many.
Mhm.
Very few.
Many. The big minority drivers that we have right now are Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez. So Bubba Wallace is an African American,
Mhm.
and Daniel Suarez of Mexico and Cuban American.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was gonna say, other than that, like I feel like NASCAR is not super diverse.
No,
And is that something that happened just as they established NASCAR as like a racing platform, or do you think that has to do with
no, I think
like the cost of cars potentially?
like I think originally the NASCAR started out as kind of a good old boys network.
Mm.
So that
Mhm.
and if you had family that was running the cars, it just kind of went into the kids,
Into the family.
into
Yeah.
the family. And then
It stayed in the family.
it stayed in the family, but now they're really trying hard. It doesn't matter the cost of the cars, that is the diversity is trying to get more diverse. And
Mhm.
that, you know, they get and by being more diverse, they get more female drivers, they get
Mhm.
more African American drivers, they get more Mexican, Cuban drivers, or whoever. I mean, I don't know, honestly, of there being a single driver that is of African descent. Now, in
AAPI.
AAPI, what the hell was that?
I'm an Asian American Pacific Islander.
Okay, there. So I
Yeah.
know there's some South African drivers that do like the IndyCar series and that, but as far as NASCAR, not so much. And it's not occasionally when NASCAR runs a road track where they're running around on a track, you know, it's not your traditional oval roundy round. They'll
Yeah, isn't it
bring
like
in,
partially made out of actual like city streets?
right. And what they do on those is they will occasionally bring in somebody that specializes in driving, you know, road track courses.
Mm,
God
mhm.
damn it.
For our viewers at home who can't see what's happening, my stepmom is stealing my dad's drink.
Oh, and the
So-
number of times
Stepmother's.
that they was offered to make her own drink.
Oh, you heard that.
And that will not be edited out.
Absolutely not. The truth must be known.
So I do have some fun facts for NASCAR for you both as we're talking about it. My first fun fact is that the physical cars can generate enough downforce for them to physically drive upside down.
Really?
In theory.
In NASCAR?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd always heard that about
It's the combination.
yeah, I'd always heard that about like Formula One racers and some Indy cars. I wouldn't have guessed that like standard
Mhm.
NASCARs would have been able to do that.
Yeah. So it's a combination of like the car aerodynamics, the speed, which can go up to 200 miles an
Right.
hour, and the airflow combined with the downforce onto the track that in theory they have enough force that they could drive upside down because that would keep them to the track.
Mhm.
I don't think it would actually work.
I was going to say, heavy emphasis on in theory. Like mathematically, we can work out like that. There's enough downforce that it would counteract gravity. But like nobody, I imagine just at this point, we've never had anybody who's built a long enough track or like a tunnel where they could actually attempt it. And they probably never will, because it seems like it would be really expensive just for kind of a cool trick. But I mean, we could get Red Bull to do it. They seem to fund a lot of cool, crazy stuff. They'd probably be into it.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd have to do kind of a vacuum tunnel,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
like they do the speed trains in.
yeah.
But if you look at the NASCAR cars, when they spin around or they go upside down, they got flaps
Yeah.
that come up, and those flaps
Mm.
are there to get that downforce so the cars aren't just tumbling end over end over end.
They're not just
And-
flying through the air, spinning
Right.
around.
right? Like, you know, I think Michael Wallace had a wreck in I don't remember what track it was. He hit the infield and rolled the dang car like 8 or 9 times. And he's a big boy, he's a tall boy. And it took him forever to get the car turned over, and he came climbing out of it like, well, that was a good ride.
That was a good ride.
He wasn't hurt.
I was gonna say, I imagine they do invest quite a bit of like technology into anti-roll or like anti-crumple stuff. So it's like there's just this kind of roll cage inside the frame of the car, so that if it does do that, it's like, well, the driver will be protected because they can't be hurt with inside this sort of safe zone.
Mhm.
But I like the idea that he just kind of gets out and he's like,
Right.
well, where's the
Yeah.
next one? Let's do it again.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's what they do. I mean, ever since Dale Earnhardt Senior died, they implemented the Hans device.
Oh, what's that?
And that
Mhm.
was a device that, well, what it does is it straps on the helmet
Mm-hmm.
and into the seat so that your neck
Oh,
doesn't, and the head doesn't pivot around. And that's what, with Dale Earnhardt Senior, he hit the wall at a pretty good speed, but it didn't look like that big of a crash, but it was the right angle,
oh,
and it snapped his neck and
oh,
killed him.
okay, gotcha.
You know, and ever since then they implemented the Hans device so that
Mm.
it straps in on your helmet and around you, so that if you do hit the wall at a goofy angle or whatever, it keeps your head and neck stable. So you may
Yeah.
still get a broken ankle or something like that, but it's better than your head coming off.
Yeah.
Without a
This actually
doubt.
leads me to my next fun fact.
Oh,
I have more fun facts for you. So part of that, which since his crash, which I actually have a date for, it was the last lap of Daytona 500 on February 18th, 2001.
Mike Hollis won that race.
wow.
There has not been a death in NASCAR top series since then.
Wow. That's
And part
impressive.
of implementing that device, I know, considering how many accidents happen, I feel like that's pretty good.
Right.
Right.
But with the installation of that device, part of it is that drivers can experience up to 6 G's of force
Oh, I bet.
on their necks when driving,
Oh, God.
which actually kind of makes me wonder why they haven't put something in sooner for it. But
Well, my wife drives, I can experience 6 G's of force on my
like,
That's a lot of G's. I mean,
Lucky.
those are some fighting words. I'm always going to fight you later.
that is, I mean, that is almost like Top Gun Maverick level speeds. That's impressive. And that's on a roadway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these cars are going hella fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Most on the big motor speedways like Daytona and Talladega, those cars are circling around about 200 and 225 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it's not like your average, well, I would say it's not like your average highway driving, but up here anymore, it's pretty dang close.
Everyone's speeding down I-70, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Everyone's in a NASCAR race every day, and everyone's trying to win as hard as they can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a race everywhere.
It's actually kind of the opposite
Do you
here. Everybody, like, there's a citywide speed
Oh.
limit here of 25, and I never thought that I would miss living in the city. But when you're sitting behind someone at an intersection and there's like 4 of you in a row at a stop sign and every other direction is clear, there's no other cars, I'm just sitting in the back. I'm like, all right, let's go. It's a stop sign. You can just go. And we're at like a field, so you can see in every direction for like 3 miles, and you're like, there's nobody here. You can just go. And then that person finally goes, and I'm like, okay, next person. They've had a moment to already see that there's nobody there, and then they sit and they like look back and forth, and it just drives me nuts because I'm like, as much as I enjoy living away from a lot of people, I found that living out in the countryside definitely also has its detriments because I still have kind of a lead foot, and I'm like, I want to get to where I'm going as fast as possible, and everybody's just really taking their time. I kind of envy the big freeways where everybody pretends like they're in a NASCAR race.
Right.
I can say driving in Denver, I don't know if I necessarily prefer that because it is like every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody's using turn signals,
Yeah.
cutting each other off. And they actually just lowered the speed limit in the city of Denver from 35 miles an hour to 30.
Oh, no. I imagine a lot of people are going to be
Like,
upset
oh,
about
that's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people were not happy about it, but I'm like, Denver is a dangerous place. Yeah. So everyone's in a race,
Nice.
ready to drive as fast as they
They're looking
can.
for that checkered flag, and it's never going to come.
It's never gonna come. We're never gonna see that flag.
Never.
All right. What other fun stuff do you have for us, Dad?
I just bit my tongue.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I hate it when that happens.
Ouch.
Right?
And like you get to a certain age, like even just like in high school, if you do that, you're like, I feel like my motor functions at this point in my life would have been developed to where I wouldn't do that. And it never seems to stop. Like, how is it possible that at this stage in my life I could ever make a mistake like that?
Right.
It still happens.
It's so frustrating.
It's
I'm haunted by the experience of it.
And then it like
Shaking
Yeah.
in my boots.
it's traumatizing.
It is.
yeah. So the first decade or so of NASCAR racing, the transportation of illegal alcohol
Mm.
in the South was huge business, right? And a lot of the sport early started to drive owners to build cars that would go faster and faster and faster.
Hmm.
And then
While still transporting alcohol,
and,
right?
right,
Yeah.
right. Bill Francis Sr. organized a meeting at the one of the Streamline Hotel in Daytona Beach. And that's where they, kind of came in and decided that, we got to make a race out of this. We got to do something about this and bring in and generate money because booze is getting shut down.
Mm.
And so they started into what was originally called stock car racing.
Yeah.
So
I was actually going to ask you that. I was wondering if
It wasn't
NASCARs are
enough
generally
of a
still
sport.
considered to be stock cars or not.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Which is technically what NASCAR stands for. It's the National Association of Stock Car Racing.
Oh,
Right.
That makes a
But
lot of
guess
sense.
what? Right. But the biggest thing is a stock car is what you go and buy off the car lot.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't go buy one of them off the car lot.
Exactly.
No, you're building that car in your garage to your specifications.
Yeah, that's why I always thought it was such an odd name.
with a really good mechanic.
Right?
Well, I guess at
So-
the time when they started, it would make sense. It's just the car you have, you
Right.
do what you can with it.
So at this point, yeah, the
Well,
name is more just
you
like
know,
tradition. Like you said, they're not stock in the sense that you can just go buy them off of a lot somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all made and it's crazy, but they they're high tech, very high tech, they're very expensive. And it's just the biggest thing is that NASCAR needs to diversify more as far as women driving and minorities driving. And they're working on it, but they're not getting it done fast enough.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is because I think a lot of women and a lot of minorities realize that it's kind of set up right now as the good old boys club,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's hard to break in. You can start I mean, it's even with drag racing that, it's still, I mean, there's some dang good female drag racers, but it's the reason they're good at drag racing is because their dad was a drag racer, The
Mm.
dad was the drag racer and he's had only girls. So heavenly girls, you teach them the whole ass, right?
So it's kind of the same of like, oh, it's being passed down in the family still.
Right. It's still, it's still getting passed down in the family. It's somewhat like horse racing.
Mm.
It's all
Mhm.
brought down through the family,
Yeah.
It's
Well, and I can-
one of the most successful.
Yeah, I could see how that's a tough barrier, but also a necessary barrier that they would want to pass because, like, they have this whole extra group of the population, like whatever minority you're trying to go after, they don't see themselves represented in the sport, so they maybe have less interest in it overall. So if NASCAR could get that inclusion, then they could, grow their audience. But it's hard to grow the audience when you don't really have a lane, so to speak, to like get that diversity growth like happening quickly.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And, racing is one of the sports that you can put a female driver in a car, you can put a male driver in the car, and anybody else in a car and run around, unlike basketball or football. You can't
That is true.
you cannot put females in unless they're a damn good kicker and everybody protects the shit out of her.
I'd totally be a kicker on a football team.
But,
Yeah, awesome.
And the same with
I wouldn't be a linebacker. I'd be a kicker.
right. Is the same with like basketball? I mean, basketball has diversified into they've got their own female league, right?
The
And,
WNBA
Yeah,
and others.
yeah. And golf, they've got
Oh, right,
the
yeah.
women's golf, the men's
Mhm.
golf, and men's soccer, women's soccer. But as far as like any of the other kind of team sports, and they kind of consider NASCAR as a team sport because
Yeah.
one owner may have several different cars, and then you've got your pit crew and all of that come into play. It's like it's not just
the driver.
Yeah.
It's about the pit crew, the spotters. I don't know. I'm trying to find out if there is a single female spotter, and the spotters are the ones that sit up on the top of the track with
Mhm.
their binoculars or their sight glasses to tell somebody whether there's somebody low, somebody high, if there's a crash ahead, any of that. And I have not yet found anything out about a female spotter. So,
Yeah.
that's where they can start. One of the things, and they've already started with the female pit crew gal,
Right.
Brianna, and so they're working on it. They're kind of slow,
They're kind of
Yeah.
sort of ironic for a sport that's based on going super fast.
right? I wish I could find more female plumbers,
Yeah.
but I can't find them. Of
That
course,
is true.
I don't blame them. If I was a female, wouldn't want what I gotta do.
You know what is interesting to me is that of the people who watch NASCAR, 38% of their fan base is women, which is
interesting.
higher than watching football in the NFL.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, not by like a huge percentage. It's like I think about 30% are women for the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
but for NASCAR it's 38. So I feel like that's pretty interesting considering that there aren't tons of women in the
Right,
sport.
yeah.
There's not a ton of women in the sport, But you know what? Them damn women like to go party and have a good
That's true.
so,
You're just drinking, watching the track. You're having a pretty damn good
Yeah,
time.
it very much like
Standing on the
NFL. It is very
end,
much a
and
party
up
sort of
there.
sport.
It is. It is. I'd say more so than like football, basketball, or hockey, even. Even though like football has tailgating, so does NASCAR.
Mhm.
Well, they do, but you know the thing about it is with football, you got your tailgating before the game.
Yeah.
Basketball, kind of, but your
Yeah.
basketball's in the middle of winter and it's colder
not-
than hell. You don't want to be out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Same with hockey. But the other thing is that NASCAR, it's usually it's kind of like a concert event because
Mm.
generally they have the Xfinity series beforehand and then
Yeah.
the Cup series the next day. And then usually sometimes or most of the time before even the Xfinity, they have the truck series,
Oh.
Oh.
camp series. And so it's kind of like a 3-day concert event. So
It's like a Coachella weekend
right,
of
right.
driving.
right? So you go into the infield if you can luckily
Okay.
enough to get tickets, you take your RV in there
Mhm.
and bring all your food, everything you need,
Bring all your friends, pack them
Yep.
in.
packed in, go in there, camp out for 3 days. And if you get drunk and fall off the top of your RV,
Oh.
well, hopefully you don't break anything.
I'll be honest, I've seen
Hope
images.
it's not that hard of a
I've seen
fall.
images of that kind of thing with all the campers on the inner side of the track. I always assumed that was like lodging for teams and pit crews and stuff. Those are just fans?
Well, a lot of them
Dang.
a lot of them are fans, but pit crews have their own kind of section up away
Oh, okay.
so that they got their semis that they come in with their semis and they'll have 2 or 3 cars in those semis. So if, during practice, the guys go out and or gals, whoever's driving, goes out and traders the car, then they got a backup car.
Mm.
Now, when they have a crater a car during qualifying laps and they get out a backup car, they still have to qualify, but then they have to start to the back of the track.
Oh.
The
Oh.
back one, so that they get penalized for wrecking even in qualification. So
I didn't realize you got like penalties like that. I figured if you wrecked, if you didn't make the time, like that's just too damn bad.
no, if you wreck during qualification, they bring out the backup car. You still got to qualify, but you got to start at the back of the pack.
Ew.
Oh,
then-
okay.
You know, they get penalties for pit road violations, going too fast into the
Oh,
pits,
okay.
leaving the pits too
Fast.
There's there's a lot of
There's a lot
Well-
more involved than it looks.
yeah, and there's a lot of like tire violations. If you go to change somebody's
Oh.
tire and it rolls across the pit row into the infield there, that's a violation.
Yeah.
You gotta take a lap down. Or you
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you would lose whole laps.
So it is
That's
more of a
interesting.
team sport in that you have all those interactions.
Right.
Do you think that those
Right.
kinds of regulations are
Yeah.
primarily for safety or just kind of like standardization of like speed essentially?
No, I think well, number one, I think it's a speed thing, but then also I think it's that
Yeah.
they don't want, if you watch, everybody's on the outside of the wall waiting for the car to come in.
Right,
And they
right.
don't want a car come sliding in and crush somebody into the wall.
Makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the biggest thing is a safety issue that, and that's why they put on the speed controls coming in and out of the pits. So that, I mean, it's still fast. Hell, they're going around the track at 200 plus miles an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, they're coming into the pits at 55. To them, it seems slow.
Right.
But if you're out on the highway and somebody's going by you at 55, you're like, damn.
Oh yeah, and if any, I mean, that's definitely a real phenomenon. I mean, if you've ever been on a long road trip where you're on like a west-east freeway going 80 miles an hour for 3 hours, and you just let off your cruise control and start slowing down to like 60 or 50 miles to take an off ramp, go to a gas station or something. When you hit 60,
Right.
yeah, it feels already like you're going 30 miles an hour because you've been used to going so much faster. And then by the time you hit 50 or 40, you
Right.
almost feel like you're standing still. So yeah, I can't even imagine what going 200
Right.
miles an hour feels like, and then slowing down to like the pit lane, going even just under 100. That's got to feel like a snail's pace.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy, but it's all a safety issue to keep everybody safe.
That makes sense.
Safety is important.
Well, yeah. If there wasn't safety involved in sports like this, there wouldn't be anybody up left around to do what they do.
Right.
Yeah. You would no longer have a pit crew because you ran them all over.
Well, you run them all over, or the driver is, slinging out the windshield of the damn car. Or
Just some light vehicular homicide or manslaughter. Just a little bit. Okay, Dad, do you have a favorite NASCAR race that you like to watch?
I've got two.
Okay, which one is it?
Daytona,
Okay, class.
Talladega,
Daytona and
because-
Talladega.
because they are the fastest long track, most goddamn mayhem when they wreck. There is.
You're here for the crashing.
Now, there's Martinsville and Bristol are a couple short track races that are pretty fun to watch because there's a bunch of bumping and grinding.
Yeah, Martinsville is the shortest Cup Series track.
Yes, yeah. Those are kind of fun to watch. They don't hit the speeds that like Daytona and Talladega do,
Mm-hmm.
but they're kind of fun to watch because there's a lot of they bump, they're banging off each other, and it's more of like a demolition derby.
Those are fun to
Right.
watch. Do you like a good old demolition derby?
Although I can imagine the owners of the cars are like, that costs $1 million a pop. Please stop destroying the vehicles so much.
Versus, did they have one at the Hamel Fair?
The Animal Fair used to have demolition.
Oh
derby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I forgot about that when I was really, really little. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they might still do it, but I haven't
Yeah.
gone in
Yeah.
years.
In years.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, no, it used to be funnier than hell because everybody come driving in their trucks and their trailers with these cars, and it's like, what the hell are you bringing that here for?
Wait, where did you get that
And then they
vehicle?
would have, like, all the metal was crunched and everything,
Yeah.
but they'd gone in and reinforced the frames and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
It does
funny.
always surprise me that with those cars they get anything more than one go out of them, because like you were saying, they bring in what appear to be cars that cannot run at all anymore. They're bent up and the bodies are all destroyed and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like
Right.
they just go in there with a hammer and they bang it out. As long as the frame of the car is still fine, like they don't care what it looks like. As long as it can run long enough to win another bout, it's good to go.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And the more spray paint they put on them, the better it is.
It's extra
Yeah.
protection, extra
It's more,
strength.
yeah, it's more weight to the vehicle.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They put on all that dang spray paint with the skull and crossbones and whatever.
There's a certain level of fun creativity that comes with that sort of thing.
Right, right.
Okay, so I have a question as we have the Indy 500 on. Do you know if there's any sort of, I guess, technique with like rounding the corners with being on the inside versus like on the outside edge with racing?
Yeah. Normally, the shortest point is on the inside, but you got to see the setup of your car.
Yeah.
An Indy car or a NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the setup on the car is too tight that he can't go, close to the inside. And sometimes it's too loose that you've got to go to the inside. Now, tight and loose is the way the car handles them, how the back end, as you corner and accelerate, feel. If you're tight, you can't turn as good. If you're loose, the back end's going to come around in front of you. And that's a problem.
That is a big problem.
It's not how the car is supposed to go. You want the front in the front, and you want the rear of the car in the back.
Right.
Basic racing.
Right. That's why a lot of times when you see these guys coming into the pit, they jack up the cars, change the tire, and you'll see somebody in the back end of the car with kind of a crank wrench.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They crank the setting on the car to loosen up or down.
Oh,
and
wow.
then they also do that with tire pressure. So they're constantly monitoring and seeing what they want. Now, Indy cars have this like glass screen, almost like a cockpit, plane cockpit thing. They do all their shifting on the steering wheel. There are little buttons along the side of the steering wheel, and that's where they do all their shifting.
I always wondered how what those were for.
NASCAR does.
No, theirs is more like a traditional manual.
Well, yeah, but they'll have also NASCAR, depending on the race, will have automatic transmissions.
Okay.
They still are constantly, the driver doesn't necessarily see it. He sees his RPM, his oil pressure, his engine temperature, and they don't have the kind of the glass cockpit of the Indy cars.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things about them coming into the pit road. They don't have a speedometer. That everything is run off of RPM.
Okay, that I wouldn't have guessed. I assume they still had a switch.
No idea how things are actually going.
Yeah.
They kind of know, but as they come into the pit road, they got to be at, let's see, 5,500 RPMs when they're out running around the track at like 85, 900 or 9,000 RPMs, so they got to back it down and know, and they can kind of, they get practiced enough that they know that I got to come in, and that's why you'll see them sometimes hit the brakes, smoke coming out of the tires, but it's like, they don't care. They got to change the damn tires anyway.
That's
the tires are going.
I was going to say, one thing I wanted to know is like, how many sets of tires do you think they go through in like one standard race?
One standard race on the Cup Series, they go through probably, I think they're allowed 6, but they go through 4 to 6 sets of tires.
That's more than I expected.
Right. And then what they'll do also is what they call stickers. So they may run a couple of laps or 20 laps, let's say, on a set of tires. They bring them into pit for gas and they change the tires. They'll take those tires that they run only 20 laps on, and then they'll take a blowtorch, heat them up, scrape them off, and they're ready to go for another one. They call them stickers. and they usually have a little better traction than a brand new tire.
Oh, weird.
Huh.
So,
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
but you know, the tire manufacturer, which is usually Goodyear, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on who they contract with, but they're constantly working on the makeup of the tire for the track. So it's not like you use a set of tires at Daytona, but then if you go out to California or
Oh.
Arizona and run on one of those tracks, totally different composite.
That I
So-
wouldn't have guessed.
They're constantly.
So it's not
working-
just that you have to have a lot of tires, you have to have multiple different types of tires depending on where you're racing.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's a lot of friggin' tires, man.
This leads me to another fun NASCAR fact.
Oh boy.
They actually have a really good green initiative in regards to like reducing waste and recycling, which I think comes more into play with tires.
Oh yeah.
And
I suppose.
I don't 100% know, but they also have been trying to do a lot to use like alternative fuels for the vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
But they do a lot with like recycling, which I think is like parts, tires,
Yeah.
all of that.
A big part of it is tires and stuff they take and send back to the manufacturer.
Mhm.
Tires are recyclable.
That's well
Yeah.
They put them back. Now, here's something you guys can think about. So we take NASCAR, we take an internal combustion engine out of the race, right?
Mhm.
And it's all electric. But you only get to race half the race. And then everybody's got to go in for a 45 plus minute pit stop to recharge their cars.
Yeah, that is kind of.
What the hell?
it's a
I think a
conversion.
lot of I think there's some that use more of like the corn. What was it? The corn
Ethanol.
ethanol,
Mhm.
Ethanol.
or
Hydrogen,
I
maybe?
don't know if any of them are like hybrids,
That would be
where
amazing.
like you have more. I feel like that would work well because you have the ability to use gas, because like charge the car up for the beginning of the race
Yeah.
and then switch over to gas.
They
They haven't done that.
no. They're,
I'm guessing the
they're
weight
making
to
a lot of-
They're
power
thinking whether or
ratio,
not-
like
sure.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the power output
Um,
versus the weight is probably not efficient enough.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I'm
like-
not an engineer or a mechanic, so I don't know.
It's like trying to fly in an electric plane, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got a big old cargo jet or passenger jet and it's all electric. You ain't gonna get two passengers
Yeah.
in there because all of it's gotta be the weight of the batteries.
Yeah, I was gonna say if NASCAR ever switched over to being completely electric, they would probably just make more cars. So instead of like the 2 or 3, you'd probably have like 6 or something that are already just charged and ready to go. And
Just
then when you
switch
come into
cars.
pit, yeah, you just switch cars. Well, or unless they found a way to really
Yeah.
quickly and efficiently like switch the battery packs or something. I suppose that might work. Have a little tray that just kind of slides out and you just
Well-
pop the new one in.
Yeah, the battery packs are heavy as hell.
Right, yeah, they are.
We have like 3
They're
guys.
super
together.
heavy.
No, you need a formula.
Oh god.
Well, that's why
That is very
honestly,
heavy.
yeah, it might
But-
honestly be more efficient to just literally have an entire second like car already charged and ready to go than actually try to swap the batteries like on the side of the like in the pit.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You'd come in, they'd bring out another car and the driver has to jump from
Right.
one car to the other.
Exactly.
And then go.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that happen before because of a driver not feeling well.
Ooh.
I don't remember who it was. Not
Mhm.
feeling well, came into the pits and they switched drivers. So they always usually have a backup driver ready to go.
Probably a good
Ah.
And
idea. Yeah.
It Yeah, a little longer pit stop, but they got them ready. The drivers and pit crew are talking all the time, along with the spotters, that they're constant communication. And they're like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling good. Get Jose out here because Jose B's going down.
I gotta take a shit real bad.
Right? So they do have, the backup in case, the driver they, like I say, they're constant communication with each other.
Right.
They don't let these guys go out and party it up, all night
Yeah.
between races. It's like when they win a race, at the end of the race, at the end of the weekend, okay, go for it. You got a few days off to go get your yayas out and then back at it,
Yeah, not partying it up on a Friday when you have 2 more races on the
Right.
weekend.
Absolutely. And I suppose part of like the constant communication too is like during the race, the driver isn't just driving, the driver's like feeling the car and like how the steering is and everything, and they're communicating like, hey, I gotta come in and pit, we gotta change this out because this isn't running right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the driver will be sitting there going, and they're so in tune with their cars, the slightest little shimmy or shake,
Right.
they can feel. And they're like,
Mhm.
I got a shake in my front left tire or my
Yeah.
left back tire. I mean, they feel it, they know it. And
Yeah, it's not
or
like a really
I'm
expensive
pushing, or-
like electric system. Like they can literally just feel it, and they're like, "There's something wrong up here. I need you to fix this."
yeah, they can actually, they're so in tune with their cars that they can actually feel what's going on with it, and not so much of relying on electronic stuff as to try to sense it, because a lot of times electronic sensors will fail.
Yeah.
So anything mechanical will fail over time. The best thing is you got hands on and
Mhm.
you're feeling it, and your butt's in the seat, your butt's going bing, 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 bing. You're like, oh shit, I got a flat tire.
Oh yeah. Which is bad enough when you're on a freeway. I can imagine the like terror you would feel going like 200 miles an hour, and you're like, "Oh shit."
Right, right. And the worst part is on the tires that they have a lot of times now is they got an inner tire and an outer
Oh.
tire. Okay. So when your tire starts going out, it'll separate,
Oh,
when it
that's
goes flat.
cool.
And then you're driving along and you see your tire pass you, you're like, uh-oh, Houston, we got a problem.
Also terrifying, I imagine, at 200 miles an hour.
Right. And then they're just suckered into the seat because that butt clench gets in and holds it right on down.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite current NASCAR driver?
There's a couple I like. I've always liked Martin Truex Jr.
Mhm.
Well, and part of that, he raced for a team out of Denver.
Oh.
That was a couple years ago. The mattress factory that was based out of Denver. I don't know why they dropped the NASCAR, but anyway, they did. And
Is it Mattress Firm?
yeah.
Well, a lot of people think Mattress Firm is a money laundering scheme. So
Well, you're good.
maybe.
That might have something to do with it.
And then right. And
You
then
just
another one that I like is Brad Keselowski.
okay.
And just because he's a pretty solid, stable driver.
Okay.
All of the other guys like Jimmy Johnson, was a good driver, and all. They're all getting old and
retiring.
Those are probably my two.
Your top
Kyle
few?
Larson. Kyle Larson's a good driver. I like him. He's young. So he's gonna be.
He's gonna be around
he's
for a little
gonna be
while.
Around for a long time. But oh, I'm trying to think of who else. Like, those are like top 3.
Okay, that's a pretty good pick. I got some more stats for you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
We got, as far as the most successful NASCAR driver is Richard Petty, who was crowned the king
Right.
of NASCAR. In his career, he won 200 races.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Including 7 NASCAR Cup Series championships.
Okay, damn.
He currently holds the record for most, which was 127.
Yes.
I do not know what that means.
Pole.
Yes.
When you qualify,
Oh,
you're in
okay.
the front row and generally on the inside,
Oh, that number 1 spot.
the number 1 spot.
Oh, I think that's pretty good. Out of
200 wins, he's had 100.
Oh, he 200 wins, 100 and how many poles?
27.
27.
Yeah.
127. But he had raced, I don't know how many total races he'd ran.
I know that he has 556 top 5 finishes in his career,
Wow.
Right, but
which is a lot.
That's
I
impressive.
don't know how many races he did,
it was probably double that.
if not more.
Right.
And then I have Kyle Busch has had the most all-time career wins across 3 national series, which was 213 wins as of November 2020.
Oh.
Right.
And then I have,
I'm not a Kyle Busch fan.
that's okay,
No.
personal preference.
Right.
Personal preference. He's too
I
bush
don't
league.
know much about him, so he's too Bush League.
Yeah.
And that used to be, Busch used to be a sponsor of the Xfinity series. And before the
Oh.
Cup series, that Busch was, and then it was Winston Cup.
Oh,
So
okay.
then they got rid of Busch and Winston, and then went to Xfinity and then just the Cup series.
Oh, okay.
So,
And then I have Jeff Gordon made 797 consecutive starts, which is the most
Wow.
out of a driver.
right.
That's
He's a good
impressive.
driver.
He was a good
I
driver.
like him.
And then I have Will Scott in 1963 was the first African American to win a race since NASCAR became
Oh,
established
wow.
as an organization.
Right.
And then my last fun fact is that JD McDuffie went 653 races with win.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't remember the name. So
That's probably
Honestly, I
why.
think that's the longest losing streak in NASCAR.
Every sport has someone like that.
Right.
They all have one, which I mean, considering that they're even in NASCAR, they're still better than most people out there. So
Right.
Well,
potentially,
yeah, it depends.
potentially.
Both the Bush brothers got in trouble for driving their cars in the streets of, I believe it's Phoenix.
Oh my God.
That's where they grew up.
They're like, we'll just race at home. It's fine.
No, it was a regular car, but they were
Mm.
going hauling out something down the road and a couple of extra cocktails and
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
yeah. But they got pulled over in the parking lot in a big mall or whatever, and the cop realized who they were, slapped them on the wrist and said, "Come and behave yourself."
Ooh. Well,
I'm sure that set them straight immediately.
you got a little slap on the wrist.
Right?
Yeah, that's all the fun facts I have for you.
I don't really have so
Good
much of a
those.
fun fact, but I was surprised. I've never really had much of an interest in NASCAR, but I remember watching the first Cars movie, And shortly after I watched that, I ended up just kind of coincidentally watching a sort of like history of NASCAR, like short documentary thing on like the History Channel. And I was amazed at how many details from NASCAR history they actually put into the first Cars movie, even down to just like the look of individual vehicles
Yeah.
and certain events that occurred. They put in there. I was like, wow, there's a lot more like history in there to pull from. And they put a lot of it into the first movie. And it was very entertaining.
Disney did their research.
They're very good about that.
You know,
They are.
and you know, NASCAR's been around for a long time, even before the races started.
Yeah,
Like I say, it was
running hooch.
whiskey and hooch up and down the road. And I tell you what, it's got a long lineage. It just needs to get more diversified because it is it's tough for
Yeah,
you know, minorities and women to get into it, and there's no reason that they can't.
Yeah.
You know, there's absolutely no reason that they cannot get in there, other than breaking that dang barrier of the
Right.
Good Old Boys network.
I was gonna say you mentioned
Hell, if
that
I had,
you mentioned that most of them came through like it was kind of passed down through their families. Is there, and then you also mentioned there were like
Right.
different levels of the races. Is there a place where, like, if you, it kind of like in baseball, how there's different leagues, different like levels of it. If you want to get into racing, is there one that you generally would start at if you wanted to get up to NASCAR?
yeah, let me see if I can, I had it written down here.
Gotta check the notes.
Exactly.
It's the, dang it. Let's see what it,
Because yeah, I wasn't sure if it worked the same way where it was like you work your way up to it, or if they just had different versions of races and you just kind of focus on like dirt tracks versus street tracks and stuff like that.
yeah, it's they go into I think it's called the diversity series.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
the diversity series, yeah, goes into kind of the startup, and then a lot of them start in, you know, doing go-kart racing
Yes.
when they're
Okay.
young
Yes.
and little.
Very nice.
Right?
Hell yeah.
And then they go into you know, more of the next level up, which is kind of like more of an enclosed car,
Mhm.
but it's a diversity series is what they call it. And
I can see how it's easy to see like the families that have been doing racing because a lot of them are juniors
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
thirds now.
Right.
So like you'll hear like a name and it's like, oh, junior, and you're like, oh, yep, dad did
Right.
racing.
Right.
right.
Dad was a racer.
Like Lord, our future,
Yeah.
and all that. Tony Stewart, I don't know if you know Tony Stewart has any kids. I really
I
don't.
don't know.
And you know, whether he's got them, I mean, he owns his own racing company now, Stewart Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, not totally him by himself, but, he's, he was a good driver.
I
Kind of an
believe it.
asshole, but he was a good driver.
Kind of an asshole, but at least the driving was good.
Every industry has
I
those
think
guys
that is
too.
most people in
Right.
sports are kind of assholes, but they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know, the thing about, the, mentality that it takes.
You have to
To
believe
be-
you're better than everyone
Mhm.
else.
Yeah, you gotta be arrogant.
Mhm.
You gotta think that you're the best.
Yeah.
You gotta be goddamn Donald Trump.
You
know?
have to believe
like-
that you can win, otherwise you never will. And I suppose
Yeah.
especially starting
Absolutely.
out, yeah, you just have to be like, I can do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna win. And then it's like even after a few losses, you're still like,
Right.
I'm just finding my legs. I'm gonna win eventually. I'm gonna get there.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And that's what that mentality, is what it takes for these. Well, it takes for anybody in any kind of professional sport, that you got to have that mentality that I'm going to come in, I'm going to whoop you, no matter what it takes, and I'm going to walk away waving that checkered flag.
Yeah. I've heard something similar about like a lot of fighter pilots where they're like, yeah, testosterone can get up there and maybe a little bit of narcissism. These guys can have some pretty inflated egos, but it's like, who do you want up there flying on your wing? You want the guy who's like, boy, I hope we're gonna do this, or the guy who's like, we're gonna destroy these sons of bitches. Like, you want the dude who's gonna go out there and be super confident, and who believes that you're gonna be coming back.
Yeah, you have to have the arrogant confidence.
Yeah, that just kind of blind belief that you're better than everybody.
Right. And here's a little story for you that has nothing to do with the NASCAR thing. Was
a little tangent. We love it.
This friend of mine, or I know him. He's older than me quite a bit. He used to be an airline pilot, but he was in the military first, and he was over in the Middle East and flying that, like, I think it was an F-16, maybe an F-15, I don't know exactly. But he was over and they were supposed to operate on Saddam Hussein's compound.
Wow.
And they kept flying in with the jets, and he was in the lead jet and zeroed in on the front door and launched the missile and said, knock, knock, motherfucker.
Classic.
That is a good line. Wow.
I'm kind of amazed it's
if you're
not in
going
a
to use a
movie.
line like that,
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
try and use
Well, he wasn't found afterwards.
it.
So it went right down in the where it's supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Hole in one.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have any other stuff to tell us about NASCAR?
No, I will probably in a future episode come up with some more things that maybe about NASCAR drivers fishing or skiing.
Okay.
Or we could do rodeo people skiing that we see at Steamboat every year, and we know they can't ski for shit.
Yeah, that intense pizza hunch forward squat thing.
I actually
where they look like
I actually do
they're
have a
gonna fall
question
on
for
their
you.
face almost, but don't.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I was just curious if the treats that you had out here for us today, like the mushu pork and the drink, are they for you at least evocative of something related to NASCAR? Like, is there a reason that you wanted to have these particular treats for this episode?
No,
Okay.
just because Celine said strange pairings.
Fair enough.
I thought, well, hell, that's about as strange as you can get. I would have, if you wanted to pair in NASCAR, it would have been hot dogs and beer.
Okay. Yeah, when she first mentioned it, that was kind of my first go-to. I'm like, yeah, like hot dogs, nachos, and a bunch of beer.
Right?
No, I mean, I'm not complaining. It was very delicious.
It was good. I like that it was different.
Yeah, very fresh. We seem to have a tendency to go towards very like high fat content stuff, and not that I'm assuming this isn't exactly health food, but definitely more vegetable based stuff than we usually have.
Right.
I feel like we've done pretty good with having like one of our last pairings was like an orange. We've had like
that's
sunflower
true, yeah.
seeds, peanuts. We've had some of that more lately, which
We
has
have a
been
little
good.
bit, yeah. Trail mix is arguably healthy depending on the setup of it. We've had a few in there, I
Depending on the
suppose.
context, how many
Yeah.
M&Ms you have. Yeah. Do you have any ratings for our food drink pairing today?
I The drink is easily, I think I'm gonna give it a 9. It's right up there. I think only that I did put a splash of vermouth on it, and I'm not a huge vodka fan, but it's hard to beat for me, like, especially getting into summer here, like a refreshing sort of, well, I suppose not citrus, but a fruity drink like a pineapple martini. It's very good. And I'm going to give the snack a 7, not for taste or presentation necessarily, but my entire kitchen is like destroyed right now. And I just don't feel like based on taste alone, it's a 10. But I found this to be strangely very frustrating.
Right.
The mess you have to clean up later was a
I
lot.
think the problem for me is that I keep wanting to do more like Asian dishes, and I just have no concept. Like a lot of the times, the recipes will just say like for making the mushu pancakes, it just said place the cakes in a heated pan, and I'm like, a heated pan? And I went through like 3 times. I'm like high, low, medium. How hot is it supposed to be? But it's usually the limited experience I have with right. Well, and like when you're cooking with a wok, the way that like the heat distribution works, you can cook really hot and really fast and not worry so much about burning things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm using just a traditional frying pan on a one of those like glass top electric thingies. So I think a lot of this for me is just a very big learning curve, and I am not super experienced. So I'll try to get better with time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think together they're a solid 8. It's very good.
Yeah. Pretty good. Dad, what would you rate it?
I'd rated probably about 9 and 10.
Nice.
Also.
Yeah, I would agree with I'd probably just give it a 9 all around.
Although I would have to say an 11 because my kitchen isn't such much as a disaster as yours.
Gabriel did a good job not destroying the kitchen.
Well, and it's not super. I mean, it's mostly messy right now because I'm still like moving and I just have shit everywhere. But I mean, I even cleared off part of the counter to put some flour down, and I was kneading dough and stuff, and that went pretty well. And by the time I got done with like from the instant that I put the pork into the pan, I wasn't sure if I just had it too hot or if I was playing with it too much, but I mean, it immediately just became scorched and black, and I'm like, oh shit, the cornstarch is just absolutely burning to the bottom of this freaking pan. And then I was trying to cool it down because I wanted to use the same pan to make the cakes, and so I put it in the sink and I put some water in it, and it just steamed the whole apartment, and I'm like, oh, please don't like set off a fire alarm. And then I had to switch to just use it.
Please don't burn my house
I'm
down.
like, I just got here. I don't want it to be destroyed. But it's so caked in the bottom there that I'm like, gonna have to scrape it off. And so you had already, like, I think it was already 10 minutes past the 10 minutes I said I was gonna be late already. So I'm like, I just need another pan. I just need to get these goddamn cakes finished and get a move on. And luckily the cakes went actually better than expected. I was expecting the cakes to be the more frustrating part, but
the more difficult
part. But the recipe even said like, okay, now fry the pork, and that seemed like it took longer than it needed to, and it got more scorched than I wanted it to. And then it's like, and then you make the eggs and put all of that aside and then put the vegetables in. I'm like, but the vegetables are just gonna burn too. And then put the sauce in and then put everything back in, and I'm like, man, I am not prepared for this shit.
He's not ready.
No, I thought it was going to be a super easy, just toss everything in and it's good to go. It was more involved than I thought. But we got it done, damn it. And it was tasty.
It was tasty, which is what we like. We like stuff that's tasty.
Yeah.
It's the taste. If it tastes good, it's good.
Yeah, I can't deny it was very, and I slathered the final instructions was like, take your warmed mushu cakes and put hoisin sauce on them and then put the meat in and then roll it up. And I'm like, that was a good move. it kind of keeps everything together. I don't usually have like just hoisin sauce on stuff, but yeah, all the flavors worked together really well. It was delicious.
Well, you can use that hoisin sauce for a lot of different things. So
I think I
it's
will
pretty-
too.
pretty
Yeah.
Good little. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll start trying to put it in ramen and stuff. It was very good.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
So where can the people find us?
Oh yes, of course. If you have any suggestions or complaints or hate mail or whatever, you can send it to peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com, and you can tweet at us on the Twitters at peculiarpairpod. Check us out on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod, and look us up on Patreon. Why not?
Yes. And that concludes our episode for today.
Right.
Thanks for being on with us today,
Yeah.
Dad.
Sure.
Thanks for being with us, Kenny. That was awesome. And hopefully we'll talk to you in the
worries.
future.
Yes, good to see you,
Yeah.
and thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll
Yes. Until
we'll see y'all next
next
time.
time.
Bye-bye.